Part 5 continues the subject of the header.php file and will assign the menu location and add a custom class specific to that location. A quick recap: the subject of the header.php file began in Part 3 with an overview and some CSS on the container divs and the site title and site description. Part 4 tackled the PHP conditional function for the site title in relation to the front page of the site. Let's dig in. Line 16 to 21 is the nav element with the ID of menu. Already covered in Part 3, the role attribute of navigation is part of the ARIA framework, Accessible Rich Internet Applications, a framework of attributes to make web applications more accessible to people with disabilities. Unlike the HTML5 section ID, the role attribute can be used for CSS styling. On line 17, the div element containing the search form was covered briefly in Part 3 and will be revisited in this series. Now here's the WordPress function that creates a menu. WordPress thinks of it as creating a location. This is seen more clearly in the WordPress admin, and I'm getting there shortly. Main menu is the name of the theme location for this menu. This is one of 2 snippets of code and its partner resides in the functions.php file. Starting on line 11 and to line 13 of the functions.php file, here in the right pane of the code editor, is that partnering code, and this registers the menu. The code for adding additional menus is not much more than these few lines of code, and this series of tutorials will create additional menus with precisely this code. So here's the recurrence of the name main menu as it appeared in the header.php file. And here's the actual name of main menu. This is visible in the WordPress admin. And so let's head over and see how the menu location is managed in the WordPress admin. A quick login and to appearance and menus. This is where the locations and menu links are managed. A fresh install of Blankslate should look precisely like this. The default home and sample page. Up top left is the Edit Menus tab, which at this moment stands alone. Here is the default dummy title of the menu, Menu 1. This can be renamed to anything. If I now click on the Create Menu tab to the right and middle of screen, a second tab becomes available top left of screen called Manage Locations. Further down and centre, a list for menu settings has also become available. Here it lists the display location, and currently unchecked is our menu name, the actual name, as we saw it written in the functions.php file. So let's jump back there a second and see it again, and there it is on line 12, the actual name. This can also be renamed. Renaming it will be reflected in WordPress admin immediately. Now back to admin, and all that's left to do is to assign menu 1 to the theme location. For this, enter the Menu Locations tab, top left of screen, and listed under Theme Location is the actual name of the location of main menu. Again, in the drop-down menu is the title of Menu 1. Select it, save changes, back to Edit Menus tab, top left screen, and now if we look under the menu settings, center screen, the display location is now checked, confirming that Menu 1 is now assigned to the location of main menu. To add menu links, first I'll create a couple of dummy pages. And back to appearance and the subheading menus. Select the pages, add to menu, save menu, visit the site, and there's our new menu links. Now some CSS. So to open the style.css file in the right pane of the code editor and begin styling the menu. I'm going to create a custom class for this menu. It makes the styling of multiple menus that bit more efficient and neater. Again, I'm planting a seed for the future tutorial that will dig deeper into menus, including the way WordPress handles them, creating multiple menus and responsive and submenus. To create the class, just add this short line of code within the header.php file. Back in the left pane of the code editor on line 20, I'll name the class Menu1. Back to the style.css, right of screen, line 39. So, using the class I've just created, giving the class of Menu1 a margin top. A quick look at the site, refresh, and now the menu has dropped down by 20 pixels. Now to display the list items in line, refresh the site, and it's listed horizontally now. So just needs a bit of margin in between. I'm going to use the adjacent sibling selector to avoid false margins and give it a margin of left. (10 pixels). Refresh the page, and now they're clearly separated. Well, that brings this tutorial to a close, and in the next, part 6, I'll continue styling the menu. To summarise, the site's menu has been assigned to the menu's theme location. WordPress admin under appearance and its subheading menus is where the menu is created and its location is managed or assigned. The two code snippets that handle the menu's theme location and registry are found in the header.php file and the functions.php file. The custom class of Menu1 was created by adding the code snippet or WordPress function in the header.php file. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to joining you in part 6.